Perfectly excellent.
Hey!
Hey!
How's it going, party people? Welcome to Perfectly Excellent, where we talk and things are excellent. Perfectly.
I can sense your perfectly excellence is at a low level today.
Ooh, I am very overheated at the moment. I was running around a lot today, and I got home maybe 45 minutes ago and proceeded to handle the pets and eat dinner and go in and out of the house a few times. So I'm a little warm. It's a little warm in here.
Yeah. Are you hydrating? Are you properly hydrating?
I am hydrating. I am hydrating. But I will do my best to not drip sweat directly onto the microphone, but no promises.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if we'll pick that up, but we'll keep eyes out for it. Good luck there.
Hopefully how are you doing?
Cool off. I'm doing pretty good. I mean, I started my day off at the DMV today, so that's all uphill from there.
Yeah, that's a good way to start the day.
Yeah, you know, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be going in, but it's not like a pleasant experience. Everything feels awful, and you're worried you're going to get yelled at the whole time you're in there.
But at least they changed the name of it.
Oh, it's just MVC now.
It's the MCP now.
Oh, is the Master Control Program?
Yeah.
What is it? Motor Vehicle Commission, right? Not the
something like that. Yeah. But it's like, rather than make people hate the DMV less, we'll just change the name and then still have everyone call it the DMV.
Yeah, it was actually interesting because I got there, you know, I had an 8:15 appointment, and before I even got into the building, I was waiting online. So it was like a pre-line to the line. They basically asked you, you know, what are you doing here? And then they said, okay, go wait on that line. And there was a few people, I didn't catch the conversation, but whatever their answer was, it was wrong because they did not get sent to the line. And then I must have waited on 3 or 4 lines throughout the whole process. I waited on the outside line, then the first inside line. Then they sent me to the second inside line. Then they sent me to a number. And then they told me to sit down and they sent me to another number. It's like, couldn't one of these people just done everything like end to end? But
is it possible you were actually just playing Simon Says?
I was. They told me where to go. And then I wrote the wrong date down on the form. Today is the 17th and I wrote it the 16th. I don't know why. I was trying to fill out the form like on my hand as I was waiting in line number 2. And it was great because the woman behind the counter, she looked at it. She's like, oh, you wrote the wrong date down, and just looked up at me. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, how detrimental is this going to be, you know, to me renewing my license today? And she's like, like, it was exactly like that. I'm just like, and she's like, I could try to make it a 7. I'm like, we should have started with that. Like, and then she did. And then and it's weird. As updated as a DMV is, I still think they're so behind the times. Because do you get any bills mailed to you anymore?
Some, yeah, I do.
It's very few and far between what we actually get in the mail. So I had to print out things like utility bills for proof of address, and I brought them in, and they're like, "There's no date of mailing on this." I'm like, "Well, no, it was emailed. I could show you that." And they're like, "Again." Oh, I'm like, well, it shows the billing period, shows the due date. Is the date it was mailed? Like, is that super critical? Apparently it was.
Pretty important.
Yeah, it was very important. Luckily, I brought like the past 30 days of mail that we had, or not even that. I had like 6 months worth of mail. So we just kept going through until I found something with a date, but that was sufficient enough for them. So good times.
Good times. Good times.
Yeah.
Hey, let's make the times even better. Would you like to do an invention exchange?
I would love to do that more than anything.
All right.
Perfectly excellent.
Good stuff. That's how I've been feeling most of the day.
You just getting in out of your car going, oh.
After you, please.
Okay.
Mine has more of a, mine's not that interesting in that, other than like there's a story attached to it. So it might take a little longer.
Okay. I don't know if I have quite a story about this, but I was thinking about things as we are off to do. And I started thinking about things from way back when, as again, we off to kind of, get nostalgic about
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
And I started thinking about this. I guess I'll jump right into it. But Spaceballs, the book.
The book.
Do you
I never
remember
had the
this
book.
book?
No, I don't have that book.
I remember this book, and I remember being super bizarre. Like, it was kind of like someone watched the movie and then kind of wrote about the movie. Not necessarily it was the movie itself. So I thought, maybe I'll get that, read it, and we can talk about it. So I ordered it's easy to find. It's a cheap book. I got it, and it kind of smells, though. It smells bad. What year? I don't know the exact year on this, but
87 or 88, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it's been sitting around on the shelf. So what I did was I found on Etsy there was someone who had like an ebook version of it. Oh. So I went and I got that, and I've been reading it, and yeah, it is just as bizarre as I remembered. I'm not very far in it, but I will, maybe over the next few shows I will cite my favorite passages. But there's weird things like, when Dark Helmet drinks his coffee and his like mask comes down, and too hot. That's very different. Like, he doesn't drink the coffee and it's too hot. His mask just gets stuck down. So Colonel Sanders has to get a can opener to like open it up. So it's really like, again, that's what I mean. It's like somebody watched the movie and didn't quite remember all the gags. But
or it was written before everything was locked down, because there's a Blues Brothers book that's very much like that was written from a much earlier draft of the film, and it is very, very different. Like, huge chunks of stuff that is not in the movie is in that book. So it's fascinating in that way.
Which is exactly what I was looking for. So I just want to read wait, where was the one part? Oh, it smells so bad though. Yeah, so I'm just going to read you this first, the chapter 1, the intro, real fast. Into the dark stillness of space roared the mighty Spaceball Star Cruiser. I want to record an audiobook of this myself, but we'll get back to that. The monstrous craft made its way through the star fields, the forward rockets pulling section after 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 section. Whew.
I'm not even sure those are words anymore.
Yeah, but that's how it starts. So good times. I'm looking forward to reading more of this. So that was my invention exchange for today. Spaceballs,
the book.
The very smelly, musty book.
Well, I also repurchased something that I had when I was younger. Not quite that young, though. Mm-hmm. So this
is that Cypress Hill?
Yes, it is a Cypress Hill pin, a pewter pin. So in 1991-92, when I was a freshman, sophomore in high school, I couldn't find rap t-shirts anywhere. I had a Public Enemy hat that had like a cord that kind of went across the brims, because I guess it was from the late 80s.
Like a sailor's hat kind of a
thing?
Yeah,
kind of like that had like the Public Enemy logo on it. But the only other thing that I could find was this. And when I was in high school, when I first took my first journalism class, because I wanted to write for the school newspaper, there was this guy named Andy who was a couple grades older than me. And he wrote reviews for the high school paper, which is what I wanted to do.
Okay.
So like I looked up to him a little bit, like, oh, hey, he's been doing this. He knows how to do this. He's older than me. I'm going to learn
he's
from him.
Worldly. He's been out
worldly.
There. Yeah.
Yeah. He's at least 16. He also, around his neck, wore a necklace that said Randy Rhoads, who is a guitar player for a band that I don't remember now. So,
okay,
I buy this pin at Sam Goody. I shaved off the pins. I put it on a chain.
Okay.
I wore this around my neck as a necklace for like a year.
Okay.
And all of my friends said, "Why are you wearing a tomato around your neck?"
Ah, it does look tomatoey now that you say that.
And they said that every day for about a year before I finally
did you not
stopped wearing it.
explain to them at one point that it was not a
Oh,
tomato?
I did, but for some reason that friendly banter just turned back into, oh, nice tomato. So yes. So currently I do not wear any necklaces. It's not a trend that I brought out of high school. But I saw this on Depop. I've been selling some t-shirts on Depop, and this popped up, and I got it for $12, which I believe is probably less than I paid for it in 1991. And I just thought it would be amusing to have it again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to make a necklace out of it.
But you're not going to wear it.
No.
Oh, I would love to see it and make the tomato crack. So.
Oh, I'll bring it next time we hang out. I'll bring it so you can look at it.
Okay. So yeah, why do you have a tomato? That's excellent, though. What were you thinking about this, or you just happened to see it on Depop?
I have a saved search for a specific old Cypress Hill shirt that I'm looking for that I haven't been able to find at a halfway decent price, and this came up in those results.
Got it. Cool. Very cool. Very interesting, varied invention exchange today. Yeah, I did not see that coming. So
I enjoy using them to tell you more weird things about me that you didn't already know from knowing me these past 30 something years.
Yeah, you and the necklace. That's a new one. I never saw that part of your fashion phase there.
No, that ended in like 92. By the end of 92, there was no more necklace.
You can only take the tomato comment so many times, right?
Before you're like, fine, I'll stop. So, cool. Well, before we get into the main topic, I wanted to just super quickly.
Perfectly excellent.
So nothing has really changed about my feelings. I'm still very much on the fence. I mostly just wanted to give an update on the number of backers that it has. So again, the target to have it made period is 8,000. To unlock all of the tiers, it's 14,000. We have 28 days to go, and we are currently at 6,993 backers.
Doesn't sound like we moved much since last week.
We did not. We moved maybe a couple hundred or so. Again, I have no doubt that we'll get to the 8,000. Like I'd be floored if we didn't. I think there's a chance we might hit 7,000 before we're done with the show today.
All right, we should keep a live ticker on screen.
Yeah, I have it up. So again, don't know what I'm going to do about it just yet. The price of some of the other HasLab exclusive figures without the vehicles has been stressing me out, but we'll see how it goes. But that's kind of where we're at right now.
Okay. And still, if I put you in the hot seat, it's ending in 10 seconds.
I don't know. I can't answer.
9, 8,
no, I don't know.
7.
I don't know. I would probably lean towards no, because I would be like, at least if I have to overpay for the figure, I won't have to do it for a year.
Yeah, that is true.
That's kind of where I'd go right now.
That is true. And again, you could pay, it was 300, 350 you said for this?
With shipping, it'll probably be, like 350, 375, something like that.
And there's no telling where the world will be, like if and when that ships. So you can just save your money and be ahead of the game.
So if it was today, I'm going to say no. And I still go that if they unlock everything, absolutely no brainer. Between then, I don't know. We'll see.
All right, 28 days to go. I'm curious to watch. I hope that I enjoy like the catching up on the stress of these types of like Kickstarters and HasLab. So I hope there's something after this that we can both chase and keep tabs on. It's good times.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Want to get to the main topic of the evening?
Let's get right to it, please.
Perfectly excellent.
So before we dive in, I started thinking about this. I was at the mall. I was at Willowbrook Mall of all places. I'm sure you know that place.
I've been there a couple of times.
Yes. I was sitting in the food court and just started looking around and started to get real nostalgia for like the food courts of our youth and like, you know, all the the places that used to be in the mall. And that kind of started to segue into starting to think about snacks and food. So I know this is probably a little different from our normal, you know, toys and collectibles and things, but I think the snacks that made us is still every bit as nostalgic, right? And interesting. And this was a bit of discovery to try to think of what were the snacks we liked when we were young. Are they still around? To my surprise, I found most were, but I think as we grew up, our tolerance probably for them changed a bit. So
yeah, when you first brought this up, like I immediately went, oh, that'll be easy. And then I started thinking about it, and it turned very quickly into all I can think of is cereal. So we've actually removed cereal. Cereal is banned from this discussion. We were probably going to do an entire episode about cereal at some point.
Yeah.
So once I removed that, and once we also decided, like, we're not going to talk about any like entire restaurants or anything like that. It has to be a specific item from somewhere. Mm-hmm. It took me a little bit, but the more I sat around and thought about it, I ended up remembering some things that I hadn't thought about in a really long time.
Cool.
And I think at the end of the day, because of the amount of things that I found that they don't make anymore, I think you actually ended up having a harder time with this once you started digging into it.
Yeah, it was funny. Like when I sat down, I had like this huge list of snacks that I loved. And I thought for sure, like, these can't be around anymore. Lo and behold, through some form of iteration, yes, a lot of them are still available. And then it was hard for me to find ones that are no longer here. And I mean, we have our number one pick, which we'll get to in a minute, right? Or probably our two picks off of both of our lists that we're going to give special honors to. Yeah, I had a really hard time. I think my list, out of the three categories, the things that are no longer around, the things I used to love and quit, and the things I still love, the ones that I quit, that quickly became the biggest bucket of things that I just can't tolerate anymore.
Well, what do you want to? Do you want to start? You want to just jump right into it? Because we put some slides together.
Yeah, I think we had a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's just dive right in.
Oh,
by the time we're gone.
Sorry, I lost you there for a second.
No problem. I was going to say, this slide, even seeing this teed up is like, I haven't had dinner yet, so I'm like already craving it, but you cannot get these.
The Gordita was my go-to Taco Bell item. Mm-hmm. This is one of the two things that was definitely on both of our lists. You have been with me 1,000 times when I have tried to articulate how I want my Gordita, because I don't get the standard one. I always added beans to it and removed the lettuce. And for some reason, that always befuddled folks back before you could just put it on the app and tell them exactly what you wanted yourself.
But I think you perfected the delivery of it. Like, you knew how to say things in the right order, because it had gotten it wrong.
Yeah.
You had gotten it wrong so many times that, like, you just iterated and iterated until you basically had the delivery down. Not that they weren't confused while you were ordering, but I think you had a higher success rate towards the end of the lifespan of the Gordita.
Yeah, but they stopped making it. My number one item. But I had Taco Bell for lunch today. Well, first of all, they did bring them back about 6 months ago or so, the decades
limited engagement. Yes.
Yeah. And that was very nice because you could just order a Gordita.
Yep.
So I had Taco Bell for lunch today. You can still kind of hack a Gordita.
Okay. Walk me through it.
Like you can kind of still get it. So, well, first of all, you can get a chalupa, which is essentially the same thing, except the shell is fried.
Which grosses me out. I do not like.
I did not like that when I was younger and the Gordita was an option. I have since had chalupas over the past, couple of years. And, they're all right. They're not that bad. I've come around to them a little bit, at least a little. But I figured out that there is an item. I'm looking up because I wanted to get the name.
I was going to say, I hope you post instructions for this.
Yeah. So There is an item on the Cravings value menu called the 3-cheese chicken flatbread melt.
Okay.
And on this item is chicken,
Okay.
the 3-cheese blend, and chipotle sauce. Now, you can swap the chicken for beef. You can't swap it for beans for some reason. You have to say no chicken and then add beans. So you get an extra charge for the beans, but
okay.
You can swap the chicken for beef. You can not get the chipotle sauce, and you can add regular sour cream to it. You can add tomatoes. You can add lettuce. It's a gordita. And even when you add on all of that stuff, it still comes out a little bit cheaper than a chalupa is. So if you're willing to take the time, and if you're willing to submit a ticket on their app where they will look at it and go, why is he removing every single thing from this item and replacing it with other things? But I got a bean gordita for lunch today. I had my bean, I had my sour cream, I had my tomatoes on my gordita flatbread shell. It was exactly what I wanted. So I've beaten
amazing. So they have all the elements there.
Yep.
They refuse to make it easy for you. That's
nope.
All.
You have to go in and do it yourself. But Alan, you could have a gordita tomorrow.
All right. You're going to have to text me this and like with very specific instructions. I'll give it a shot because I feel like the Taco Bell, again, of our youth, that we were there like at least once a week after the radio show. They got rid of the gordita. They got rid of something else that we'll talk about later. Like I've never recovered from that.
They got rid of the Mexican pizza for a while too.
They
brought
did
that back, but that was gone for a while.
I'm glad that is back because that is my one staple, but I still feel uneasy. Like I don't have my order where it used to be. I used to get 2 Supreme Gorditas. I used to get my something else, which I don't want to spoil yet. And like I've tried the crunch wrap. I've tried all these other weird things, and it's just not. The experience just hasn't been the same. But I'm willing to take a chance on this.
The cheesy gordita crunch, while it's okay, it's a completely different thing. Putting that hard shell taco in the middle of it that doesn't stay hard, that just gets mushy.
Yeah.
It just changes the texture of the thing entirely.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't work.
I feel like we are like you said we're not going to talk about restaurants, but I feel like there is a Taco Bell episode in the future where we can talk about it. And yeah, I would love to try this out. I don't know if I have the guts to do it tonight, but maybe in the future.
Yeah, if you do it on their app and then go pick it up, because again, you can very specifically put what you want, what you need to replace, what you need to swap. You can do it. I have faith in you.
All right, I appreciate it. So again, super honorable mention. This was on both of our lists. A Taco Bell delight that is long lost, but still kind of back, I guess, still available if you know how to game the system.
So we have another one that was on both of our lists. We're going to save that one to the very end. So we're going to start going through our top 5s now. And we're going to start with your number 5.
All right. So this took me a while to find. I kept looking for it because I such vivid memories of getting this, but I was searching for McDonald's burrito and I kept getting the breakfast burritos. I'm like, no, it wasn't breakfast. I always got it for lunch because my high school was next. You could walk from my high school to a mall that had a McDonald's, and like a crazy person, I was in there ordering this, which turned out to be their chicken fajitas after our research has discovered. These things, I remember picking it up and it just urinating like onto the plate, like just liquid pouring out of it. But I loved it so much. And they did not taste good. They did not smell good, but I loved them. Like I still ate them. I guess maybe I wasn't like into burgers at the time. And but yeah, this was my go-to for McDonald's for the longest time. And then it just, probably because no one was buying them, they rightfully took it off the menu.
Yeah. They had these when I worked at McDonald's in like 92, 93. So it's kind of interesting. So I'm going to start by letting you know that the Egg McMuffin is made in a special contraption that sits on the grill. Okay. It's a pan, like it's got a handle, but it doesn't have a bottom.
Okay. Yeah, I think I know what you're
and it's about an inch tall, and it has a lid that goes on it. And then inside are the 6 rings that you put the eggs in to make the egg McMuffin.
Are you allowed to say this? Like, are you allowed to talk about this on the air? Are we going to get like,
my NDA, my NDA ran out years ago, so it's fine. So they used that same device for a couple of other things.
Okay.
So what they do is they put down the contraption without the rings.
Mm-hmm.
The fajitas came in a bag. They were frozen with all of the chicken and all of the vegetables already in this big bag. So what you did is you opened the bag and you poured it into this contraption. You put the lid on it. On top of the lid, there was a little funnel that was about an inch tall, and you poured water into that funnel.
Ah, the pea.
And the water slowly drips in and steamed everything to cook it.
Yeah.
So right now, my memory gets a little hazy because I have vivid memories of 2 separate things happening here. And I'm not sure exactly what was the standard and what just happened sometimes. So we would have these metal bowl, like oblong bowl things, and we would put the chicken in there, and then we would just leave it on like the side of the grill because it just kind of stayed hot, and then you could go in there and get the stuff. So I do have memories of doing that. I also have memories of making the fajitas, putting the cheese on it, rolling them up, wrapping them, and then putting them in the drawer that we kept the chicken McNuggets in.
Oh.
So they would sit there for a while, and they would get very stale and crusty after not too long at all. The shelf life on these things wasn't great. We didn't move these. Like, we did not sell a lot of these.
I'm saying this all checks out right now. 100%. And totally, like, Chris nailed it. This is what I think the reason I got it was because of the salsa packets. Like, if you could drown it in enough of those packets, it was delightful. But yeah, everything you're saying checks out, that these were bad.
I would get them on my lunch break sometimes. I would also sometimes use the fajita to do something weird with. Like, sometimes I would make a hamburger, chop it up, put barbecue sauce in there, mix it up, and put it on the fajita wrapper and make that for lunch. Like, we would experiment and try different things sometimes.
Knowing everything you knew about the fajita, you would still eat these?
Well, when they were fresh.
Oh, when they were fresh. So yeah. But yeah.
Or sometimes when they were about to throw them away. That was also a thing. It's like, hey, we can't sell these anymore. Does anyone want to does anyone want to roll the dice?
Yeah. I remember them just kind of falling apart. Again, I remember liquid just like oozing out of it. And like, also the McDLT with the hot side hot and the cold side cold, a styrofoam luxury.
Yeah, so the McDLT was a burger that they gave to you unassembled.
Okay, it was a DIY burger.
It was a 2-part styrofoam container, and the bottom burger and bun was on one side, and the top had like the lettuce, tomatoes, and cheese on the other side. So hot side hot, cold side cold, you could put it together. Those were long gone by the time I was working at McDonald's. Like, those came out in like 86. I think they were gone by like 87 or 88. But when I started working at McDonald's in 1992, like in the storeroom, they still had piles of containers for the McDLT that they couldn't use anymore.
I remember those old styrofoam containers. Like, we were talking about the breakfasts at McDonald's. I remember them coming in like just pure like styrofoam. It was amazing times.
So the one last thing I want to say before we move away from this is that contraption that you cook the fajitas in, that is also what they cooked the McRib in. Because we did have the McRib. I worked there when the Flintstones movie came out. So that was one of the few times that McRib was national, like back then. So the McRib, you put them in that same contraption, you poured the water in the spout at the top. And that's where McRibs come from.
Amazing. Yeah, again, this is all fascinating. My last parting comment on the fajitas is they never looked like that.
No.
They were much sadder. And they did not hold shape. But these were something from I would get all the time.
I can still close my eyes and see it, and the chicken was always just sort of a little gray, and it had like the fake grill marks on it. Good stuff.
Good times.
Good stuff. All right, so my number 5 is probably the most recent thing that's on this list. And I don't know exactly when they stopped making this, but the oatmeal cookie chunk was my absolute favorite ice cream. It was cinnamon ice cream Cinnamon
Interesting.
ice cream. Oh, so
Yeah,
good.
I'm not familiar with this one at all, but walk me through this beyond the cinnamon.
Cinnamon ice cream. What more
Is
do
that
you
it?
need to
We're just
know?
gonna
That's
start
all
right
you
there.
need to
I
know.
can see sweet cream cinnamon ice cream with chunks of oatmeal cookie and fudge. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you've got a winning combination there.
It was delightful. I picked this up at the Quick Check on Valley Road in Montclair
Okay.
constantly, like, you know, in the late 2000s, like 2007, 2008. I don't know exactly when it went away. It's probably been gone for more than 10 years. I'm not a huge ice cream guy, and even if they still made this, I would probably have to abstain from it, because as I've gotten older, me and dairy have never really gotten along. But it wasn't until I was older that I figured out that it was the dairy that was causing me so much gastrointestinal discomfort.
Yeah, and you guys kind of broke up.
We did. We had to kind of call it off a little bit. But if they made this again, I would endure the stomach ache to have this, because this was delightful.
That should be the ringing endorsement for it. It's worth the pain. Very cool. Yeah, I don't really know Ben and Jerry's ice cream at all. I know they have lots of interesting flavors, but I think I was a very kind of standard ice cream kid growing up. It was like we would get
this growing up. This is something that I ate as an adult.
Okay, yeah. So I guess I didn't get sophisticated in my old age when it came to ice cream.
All right, number 4, ice cream.
Talk about lack of sophistication with ice cream. Yes, this one I did not know was discontinued again until we started going through our snacks. I thought for sure this would be around, and again, hearkening back to our love of Taco Bell, this was for a time available at Taco Bell. And you talked about the gordita with the hard shell taco in there that got all soggy, and I feel like this was the original soggy shell, like the waffle tortilla or the waffle shell there was just always like mush. It was like wet cardboard when you ate these, but these were delightful at Taco Bell. If you were to get these, my guess is they were sitting there for years, because they were covered in freezer burn, and like just everything was a hot mess. But I preferred to get them elsewhere, and they were much more delightful. And apparently at some point they went away, which I missed. I blinked and they were gone, and then they came back for a few years, because I feel like I had one not too long ago, and now they've gone to that great snack graveyard in the sky, I guess. So
it's a shame. You wouldn't think it would be all that difficult to keep these going, but I don't really know. I'm sure I've had this, but probably only a couple of times.
Yeah.
But the way you're describing it reminds me of the ice cream that you could buy in the cafeteria in grammar school.
Mm-hmm.
They used to have these cones.
Yep.
That
wrapped in the paper.
The cone was mushy, and what you do is you would suck all the ice cream out of it, so then you could just eat the cone last. And the cone was so mushy that you could like fold it up and just eat it in one bite. They also used to have the chocolate Chief Crunchy and the strawberry Chief Crunchy.
I don't remember those, but I guess anything that's like lives in the freezer for a long time, like it's not going to come out pleasant when there's a cone involved. But didn't stop me though. I would tear through these things. They were so yummy. And I feel like when they came back smaller though, because I remember that's early memories are kind of like a two-handed snack, and the last ones I had, not quite.
Not the same. Not the same. All right.
Taco.
My number 4 is Snapple root beer.
I have never seen this one before.
So Snapple root beer was around in the 90s. They had, I think, like 3 or 4 different kinds of soda. But I love root beer. I've always loved root beer. And Snapple root beer was interesting because it was clear. Like they didn't put anything in it to make it brown.
That's messed up.
And I just remember absolutely loving this. And it was not something that I bought a lot, because I didn't really drink a ton of soda as like a young kid. I kind of really wasn't allowed. But there was this like window of late high school, like right when you get your car when you're 17, and then you suddenly have access to all of the garbage food that you want to get your hands on. And I remember
Yep.
That was one of the things I would, in addition to some of the other stuff that we'll talk about later, like the Snapple root beer was a staple. And this must be, I don't even know how long it's been since this has existed. I think this got discontinued in the 90s.
Like immediately. Like
Yeah.
they shipped it once. They're like, yeah, this was no good. I cannot say I've ever seen this before. I did contemplate putting a Snapple on my list, but it was definitely not root beer. It was the what was it? The Snapple banana juice, which was unique, and I enjoyed it. But cool, yeah, that's some wild stuff there. Today,
luckily they still do make my Snapple juice flavor. Grape Aid has not gone away. That does still exist, so I can get that if I want it.
What about the Snapple apple? I used to like that a lot.
I only ever liked the grape Snapple, and then I really liked the root beer.
Ooh, cool.
That was it for me.
So sad. See you later, Snapple root beer.
Bye, Snapple root beer. All right, tell me about this, because you told me that this picture is not entirely accurate.
Yeah. So now this was tough. This was the hardest thing. Well, I was looking. None of the pictures I could find of bagel dogs online were the bagel dogs that I ate. And again, these were like middle school, high school, came home, threw one in the microwave and ate it. And the one thing I remember about it is the Frank was completely encased in the bagel. So it would get like nuclear hot in the microwave inside. So you had to like rip off the top, all the steam would come out and burn your face. Like it was totally like Raiders of the Lost Ark at the end when they opened the Ark. Like that's how dangerous these things were. And I looked high and low and I could not find the ones that we used to get. I ended up on some brand that was possibly the one, but the pictures still didn't look familiar. But this was like, I lived on these for the longest time. And I don't even know why they were in our house. I don't know if anyone else ate them in the house. They were never spoken of in the house. It was never like, oh, Mom, can you buy more bagel dogs? There was just like a endless supply of them in the freezer. So it was probably my dad who ate these. But man, I absolutely love these. So you would rip off the top and then I would take the mustard and I would just like stick the top of the mustard into it and squeeze it until the entire inside filled up with mustard. So good. I'm like craving these so much.
But it seems like they exist in some capacity though now, right?
Yeah, they do. So I'm going to have to go. Maybe I'll try some of these other ones. I'll see what they have at the supermarket and report back. The ones I had were plain, no seasoning, no sesame seeds, nothing on them. Yeah, and they were wild. But yeah, like you said, looking around, it seems like there are other brands out there. So I maybe have to report back, try this one and report back. We should have done the thing we talked about where we were putting together the outline for this episode where we each got foods that were on the other person's list to try. So maybe we'll come back to that at some point because I would have liked you to try one of these.
We'll have to do it. We'll have to. Well, I have to be careful. I have to pick and choose when I can have this sort of thing these days.
Yeah, and this is not worth picking and choosing. So we'll have to find something else. What's next for you?
I can't eat meat as much as I used to. So using a meat day on a test bagel dog doesn't, I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll take one for the team. I'll try this and report back. But what else do you have on your list? What's next for you?
So my number 3 is Chewel's cinnamon gum. So I was not allowed to have sugar gum when I was a kid. I was only allowed to eat sugarless gum. And, you know, the big staple is Trident. And this was my favorite one. This was the gum that on the inside, there was like a little puddle of goo. So when you bit into it, it squirted the little puddle of cinnamon goo out. And then you chewed it up. And this was my favorite gum. I absolutely loved this stuff.
And no sugar.
No sugar. Sugarless gum.
And 39 cents a pack.
Yep.
It sounds like a deal.
While I was looking this up to try to find a picture of it, I think this got discontinued all the way back in the 80s. I don't even think this survived to the 90s. But when I was like a little kid, this was my gum of choice.
Yeah. And I think if we have time in our lightning round, I want to talk about gum specifically. But
I do have one question about gum that I do want to ask you, because I said like the other standby was Trident.
Okay.
Were there people in your school that tried to convince you that it was fine to not unwrap Trident gum and that you could just chew the gum with the wrapper? And that
I
was
have
like
never ever heard that before. No.
That was a big thing in our school. Like, yeah, you don't have to. No, you just chew it with the wrapper on. And people did. They would just chew the gum with the with the wadded up paper in there. It was odd. I did it. I tried it. It was
and
no, you could tell the paper was there. Very much so.
I would imagine so. A little spoiler here, but gum and chewing gum is like one of the most disgusting things to me. Like, it has been my entire life. I cannot stand people chewing gum. The sound, the smell of it drives me absolutely nuts. So go ahead.
If I'm reading this correctly, I'm not the only person that knows the Trident paper thing.
Did you do it, Chris? Like, get out of here. This can't be right.
Yeah.
This is like a TikTok thing before there was TikTok, like a TikTok trend. I think we have to look into this and go to the source. Was that stuff actually edible?
I don't know that it was edible, but it was definitely a thing to leave it on. At least in my school, and apparently not just my school.
It might have been in my school too, but I avoided gum and people with gum, people that chewed gum like the plague. I am so repulsed, absolutely repulsed by it. It's like my kryptonite.
All right, so we're
let's move on. I'm getting grossed out looking at this.
Moving up the winner's podium.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is amazing to me. That Ecto Cooler stuck around way longer than it should have, right? Like, Ghostbusters was completely out of the public eye, but there was Slimer still with the Ecto Cooler. I don't know how this lasted as long as it did, but yeah, it was a thing, but it was the 90s Tide Pod, 100%. But I feel like I saw this in stores up until only like a few years ago, where they finally rebranded it as something else and stopped calling it Ecto Cooler. But did you ever have this growing up?
I know that we tried it, but I didn't like it. I didn't like the way it tasted, and it reminded me of another thing that didn't make any of my lists because, like, I only have bad memories of it. But it tasted like Five Alive. I don't know if you remember Five Alive. It was like, it was another citrus drink, and it just, I didn't like it. It wasn't sweet enough for me.
It wasn't sweet enough. Okay. Yeah, I was all into anything like citrusy, orange juice, Sunny D. Like, I liked a lot of that garbage growing up. Again, stuff that I can't even think about drinking nowadays, aside from just regular orange juice. But this one, like, even I got to a point where I was old enough and I'm just like, how is this still a thing? How can you buy this? How is Slimer still out in the public eye and on store shelves? So it just amazed me that Ecto Cooler stuck around for as long as it did. But yeah,
and it's come and gone a few times, right? Like when the other movies came out, it would like kind of pop back, right?
I'm sure it has, but in my mind, it's just been a constant because like you've seen it and then maybe it was gone, but maybe it's still around now. I didn't do enough digging to see. I'm pretty sure at one point they just rebranded it and stopped calling it.
I think it was like Citrus Cooler or something like that. Right?
Yeah, but it is the same thing. So yeah, this was a lunchtime thing in a juice box and after school treat.
All right, so I have a juice box thing now.
Okay.
Have you ever in your entire life successfully opened a Capri Sun without spilling it all over the place or shooting the straw across the room?
Or what about stabbing yourself in the hand, like going through the package?
Like, is there a worse designed product that has ever gone to market than Capri Sun pouches?
No, it is poor. And it's such a crapshoot too, because if you don't get it on the first shot and you bend like the part of the straw, like you're done. You just cannot have that.
Then you start drinking it and you don't get that proper suction. It makes that weird noise and you're not really able to get any of the juice. Yeah. Capri Sun, just the pits, just the absolute pits.
Yeah. Now, have you had a Capri Sun in the past 10 years?
Not since grammar school. Like not even like pre-high school. Like I haven't had a Capri Sun in a million years.
So I've been at like birthday parties for children where they have Capri Suns and, I've grabbed one to drink. Wow. It is so sweet. And it just like you can't process it anymore. Just the amount of sugar that are in those things.
The only positive thing I can say about Capri Sun is when you finish drinking it, you could blow it back up and then slam it down, and then the straw would like shoot across the cafeteria. That was the only good thing about Capri Sun.
That's a crowd pleaser if you can pull off that move, that finishing move for the Capri Sun.
Good one.
Oh, are we at number one?
No, we're still number two.
Okay, we're not there yet. Fruit roll-ups.
No. Very specifically, apricot fruit roll-ups.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure I know why they discontinued those.
Those were the best. Apricot fruit roll, because again, I wasn't allowed to have a ton of like snack cakey kind of things when I was a kid, but we were allowed to have fruit roll-ups, and we would get the strawberry ones, and they were fine
because they were fruit.
Yeah, by the foot.
Yes.
We would get the apple ones, they were fine, but the apricot ones were so good. And it was back then, like you can still buy like apricot fruit leather. It's a totally different thing. It's not the same thing.
Fruit leather. That's like you skin the hide of the fruit and then you have the leather.
To get the leather.
Yes, of course.
And you eat it. You don't leave anything behind.
No.
But the fruit roll up, it they had like little texture to it. You kind of had like some seeds in it. I loved the apricot fruit roll ups. And like the pro move was you took the fruit roll up, you unrolled it, and then you rolled it back up into a square. And then you just ate it in one bite, and you just sat there watching cartoons, just gnawing on this giant like apricot tobacco spit thing.
Neither of these are apricots.
Huh?
Neither of these are apricots.
What are you talking about?
Is that an apricot? The orange one.
Thing? It says made with real apricots right on it. Those are apricots.
I cannot read that. Sorry.
What are you missing the label?
I thought it was a peach. It looked like a peach.
It's an apricot.
Yeah. Then I thought the apricots, do they come with beets, like fruit roll up beets as well?
No, it's apricot.
There were no beets.
These were the best. And here's the other thing. A lot of the stuff on this list, if they brought it back, I miss it, and I would like to have one or two. But like, it's not like I'm gonna buy a box of Chewels gum and sit here chewing gum while I'm working. I would absolutely buy these regularly if they came back.
You hear that, Betty Crocker?
Punk rocker?
Get on it. All right, we're going into the number ones here, huh?
Number one. What's your number one?
So we alluded to this earlier, that Taco Bell, in whatever infinite wisdom, when they redid their menu, like, I mean, I want to say it's like a couple years ago, but it's got to be way more than that now. Is it like a decade ago when they decided to focus on weird Mountain Dew frozen beverages? They killed off my Taco Bell. They killed off the gordita. They killed off the Mexican pizza, and they killed off the 7-layer burrito. There was a 5-layer burrito, I think, that stuck around for a while, but it was missing 2 layers. And
which layers was it missing?
I couldn't even name what 7 layers are on here. I think 7 was being like generous, that there were actually different layers.
It looks like they're counting the tomato as a layer.
Yeah, I think they counted like, they counted each end of the wrapper too. Like the bottom and the top were probably 2 layers as well. But it was just that after trying all the things on the menu, I found my regulars, right? I'd get the gorditas. I'd get a 7-layer burrito. I'd get a Mexican pizza. I would get usually 2 bean burritos, like, because we were disgusting kids where you could just eat anything. But those were my go-to, and they killed this. And there hasn't been a replacement burrito that I've stuck with. I've tried the cheesy burrito or the grilled cheese burrito. I've tried everything they've added, but the only burritos that I get these days are just regular bean burritos. Like there's no excitement. There's no flair. It's just it's a dead, sad burrito.
Again, though, you could probably recreate this as long as they still have the rice.
That might be the wild card, right? The rice. I don't know about that. And that might have been this burrito's undoing. Just the fact that it had so many intricate parts. But yeah, I could not count 7 layers here. Cheese.
Well, okay, you got beans, rice. It looks like sour cream, guacamole, and then we get a loose with the definition of layer. Then I think you have lettuce, tomato, and cheese.
Yeah, and I'm questioning that guacamole and sour cream as a layer. They seem to coexist on a singular layer there.
They appear to be living together in perfect harmony.
Yeah, but I will tell you, the actual real life 7-layer burrito was constructed more front to back rather than top to bottom, because you would just take a bite of like nothing, and then when you got to the butt end of the burrito, there was like that's where all the sour cream lived. But it was so delectable. Oh, I love this so much.
Good stuff. Yeah, again, I bet you could probably come close to recreating it. You got to get into the weeds on the app and go in there and like add and swap and stuff like that. Like, you can do a lot of damage in there.
maybe, but I feel like they wronged me.
I get
Right?
that.
Like I've been so wrong that I don't know if I have the willpower or the will to live when I go back to order from Taco Bell.
Well, I'm gonna coach you through this. We're gonna get you your old school Taco Bell order.
Right,
I think as long as they have that rice, I think we're in good shape.
I think we're gonna have to go on location and go live and talk it through, like talk about the mission, talk about what we want to do, and then sit down and see what we can accomplish.
I think we can do it.
All right, I'm excited to see what's number one on your list. Are you ready to unveil? Aha! Look at those.
I wasn't allowed to have many snack cakes.
Okay.
And it's not like I was allowed to have these all that often, but I was allowed to have them sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I loved these stupid things.
Hostess pudding pies.
All of the Hostess pies are great. They are just universally all exceptional.
Okay.
The pudding pie, both the chocolate and the vanilla ones, were next level. And then they take the whole thing and then they dipped it in chocolate. I don't even really like chocolate that much. Like, ask my wife. Like, I barely ever eat chocolate. It's not something that really appeals to me. But I loved these stupid things so much.
And where did they go? What happened?
Well, the vanilla one got turned into like a Ninja Turtle pie for a while, and they had like a green frosting around it. But it's not chocolate. I don't know what flavor the green was, but because it wasn't the same thing. I didn't feel comfortable.
Mint.
Even then, even when I was like 14 years old or whenever the Ninja Turtles were popular, like eating this disgustingly chemically green pudding pie did not seem like a good idea to me, even at that moment.
Yeah, I think like at a point in the 90s where things got really green.
Yeah,
like that was like they've discovered that they could turn things green and everything just became green.
Everything got super extreme there for a little bit.
We were extreme, definitely, in the 90s.
But these pudding pies, I would buy a case of these if I could get my hands on them, knowing that I really wouldn't be able to eat them all that often at all. I'd probably have to freeze them and eat like one a month. But
yeah.
Oh, these things were so good.
Yeah, I wonder if you can even get through like half of one in one sitting now.
I've been able to find chocolate pudding pies that don't have like the chocolate covering, and they're solid. They're okay. They're hard to come by. I would find them randomly in like convenience stores or gas stations or something like that. But it's not the same. And like, again, I haven't had one of these probably again since grammar school. I think these were gone by the time I hit high school. I would do anything to have another one of these. These were my favorite.
Yeah, I would say call Hostess, but if we're going to make that phone call, I think there's something a little more pressing than these that I would like to get on back into circulation.
I'm not sure.
No. Okay.
Only because I haven't had one of these since probably the 80s.
Okay.
And it still lives at the forefront. Like when you said you wanted to do this topic, I immediately went Hostess pudding pie.
Okay.
Like immediately I knew this was my number one.
And look how it's taunting you by saying it's new.
Yeah. But like if there's a 1B,
okay,
it's the Chocodile.
Yes. 1B for you, like 1A plus for me. This was the snack of my youth. This was the top of everything. Like I loved Twinkies, but Chocodiles were just so far beyond the Twinkie with that fake synthetic kind of whatever chocolate
the chalky chocolate.
But I love, because like you, I did not like chocolate growing up. I'm not a chocolate fan, but this was chocolate adjacent or whatever it was. It was like, it was sweet and it was delectable. Like, and it would just, you bite it and like you have the Twinkie inside. So it's a complete sugar overload with the chocolate on top. I absolutely love these. And like, I pined over these for years and years and years, like this distant memory. And then they came back, right? They resurfaced briefly for a while and then not. It was not to be.
Before they resurfaced, you have to remember that for a long time, they were still making them on the West Coast.
Yes.
Just not the East Coast. Because when I went to San Diego in 2005 for the at the time, Last Rocket from the Crypt show,
Mm.
I got Chocodile while I was there, and my wife and I both got Chocodiles, and we were just like, yes, this is the best trip of our lives.
Yes. I remember them saying something about like the shelf life of these versus a Twinkie without the chocolate. Like the chocolate, the whatever that chocolate was the root of the problem. Again, that is what the rumor was. Yeah, it was not entirely stable. So while the Twinkie can last on the shelves, like these, making them on the West Coast and then shipping them to the East Coast, the word was that they would spoil sooner.
Yeah, but about 10 years ago, they came back, and they were a little smaller, which is actually probably fine. Mm-hmm. I think that's okay. But I remember you and I both just went crazy when these came back. I was like traveling to faraway stores to buy every box they had on the shelf. I'm pretty sure I gave them to you on your birthday a couple of times.
You did, yeah, and they were great. And they lived in the freezer, and like you would just get one out because they didn't freeze. Like there's no real like chemicals in there that would react to any kind of outside, temperature. But they were so delectable, so delicious, and they nailed it too. Again, smaller, but they had the taste was 100% spot on.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. If you look online, it looks like they sort of still making them by calling them fudge covered Twinkies, but like I haven't seen one in at least 3 or 4 years. I moved into this house 6 years ago, and I got one at the deli by here, like right when we moved here. So within the past like 5-6 years, they've still existed, but I haven't seen one in a really long time.
I've looked high and low. I have not been able to find them. And again, you and I were talking that Hostess has done such stupid things to the Twinkie. They've made like chocolate cake Twinkies. They've made all sorts of different fillings for the Twinkies, but they just won't do this again. And I don't know why, because this was top tier snacking, top tier Twinkie. And again, just absolutely top tier Hostess at its finest. So
good stuff. But they also make an appearance on your next slide.
They make an appearance on my next. Oh, Hostess. Yes. So this is, and I know we're going long here, so I'll go through these quick. As we were going through this list, and we said earlier that we're putting down all the things that we used to love and are no longer around. My list of things that I used to love with Quit just got bigger and bigger. And I realized that my tolerance for a lot of things is just not there. And again, segueing into Hostess cakes, I would basically grab anything from Hostess, the cupcakes, the devil dogs, the yodels, ring dings. Like I loved it all. It's been decades now since I've had any of that stuff. I just can't do it. The chocolate just overwhelms me and like knocks me out. And so aside from, I will still get Twinkies, even though they're a lot to handle, but those rest of those cakes are no bueno. Same with Fun Dip. How I ever ate that as a kid.
To me, I never had Fun Dip, but like I put Pixie Sticks as essentially the same thing.
Yeah, it is. It's just sugar, right? And the thing with Fun Dip is you're eating the sugar with a hard sugar stick that you would then eat when you were done with the Fun Dip. But when my family would go to the lake in town, that was like you'd go to the snack shack and you would get some Fun Dip there. Any of these on your old? I know. Well, McRib is.
We'll talk about that in a second as well.
Yeah,
you know what? I used to love Cracker Jack. Except until you got to the bottom and all you had was those gnarly peanuts that settled at the bottom.
The tooth breakers. Yeah.
I didn't like those. Hawaiian Punch. I can't really drink it anymore, but I do like Hawaiian Punch. Hawaiian Punch is good. I think the only place that I really know where you can consistently get Hawaiian Punch is at Popeyes. And I've absolutely gotten a spicy chicken sandwich and a Hawaiian Punch. And it's still pretty nice.
Maybe I owe Hawaiian Punch another shot. I feel like it would be a good frozen treat, but yeah, I haven't had like artificial juice like that in a long time. Like, when our kids, they drink things, I think it's called like Honest Juice, which is very low sugar and it's much easier tolerable. The McRib, though, loved it from my childhood. The past few times it's come back, like my tolerance has gone way down. I'm down to the point where I'll have like one and done, as opposed to like, you know, trying to eat our weight in those before they disappeared again. So yeah, these are the foods. And again, I could have gone on and on about things that I can't eat anymore or avoid, but these were my top picks of the bunch.
Yeah, my list is very drink heavy. One of the things over the last couple of years is I've had a couple of health things, and I've been told to, one, I need to eat less meat, and two, I got to watch the sugar, and in particular, high fructose corn syrup. Not good. I really should not be eating that very frequently at all. I can have it, but like really. So I'll talk about the drinks first. That's not why I stopped drinking Sprite. I stopped drinking Sprite probably about 10, 12 years ago, after having probably knocked off like 1.5 of those 2-liter bottles every single day for probably close to 15 years.
You were the Sprite no ice guy, like everywhere we went. Yep.
And the reason that I got no ice was because then there's more Sprite in there. It doesn't water it down. I drank a lot of Sprite, and then I decided I wanted to lose some weight. So I cut Sprite out, and I didn't drink it for over a year. And then I had one and I went, this is way too sweet. Them vocals are way too loud.
Yeah.
I was like, I've had Sprite a few times since then. It's okay. My palate has changed completely. And so I stopped drinking Sprite for weight loss purposes, and I remained not drinking Sprite because I just don't like the way it tastes.
I think you've had enough.
Yeah. Now, Yoo-hoo, I loved that when I was a kid. And one of the main reasons I stopped drinking that was because it gave me stomach aches all the time.
But that's what it's supposed to do, I thought.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So at some point, when I was like a teenager, I was just like, I'll just go with the Snapple root beer. I don't need to purposefully give myself a stomach ache constantly drinking this, again, chocolate adjacent beverage.
Yes. With possibly some dairy. I don't know. Possibly.
I don't know either. So Gatorade is actually a more recent thing that I've had to give up. And again, it ties into my recent dietary habits that I've had to change. So again, like having that like bomb of sugar, especially on a regular basis, it's not good for anyone. So it's not like I'm unique in that I probably really shouldn't be drinking this stuff. Yeah. So I don't really drink much soda at all anymore. I still really like root beer. I'll have maybe 2 root beers a month. Like if I want to treat myself, or if I'm having like buffalo wings because I'm watching wrestling, I'll get a root beer. I'll treat myself. But the days of even drinking one a week are long gone. All I drink now is water, and water with lemon juice in it. And that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah. Gatorade was absent from my list because I've had a bit of a relapse. Like I think, I was big on Gatorade. Like Gatorade was my go-to, and I don't even know what flavor it was. I just went by colors. Yeah. I think it was called Frost, but you had to make sure you got the right Frost and orange and even the lemon line. But there was that time where I just started to sweat Gatorade. Like where it was my pores.
I remember you telling me about that. You were concerned.
So I was like, all right, I need to stop drinking this. And it's only recently that I don't know where we were and they had Gatorade, and I was like a junkie. I'm like, oh wait, you got Gatorade? I'm like, can I have one? So I kind of fell off the wagon a little bit with it, but it's in moderation, very rare moderation, but I will still enjoy a Gatorade like a fine wine.
So the last thing on my list is the Lemon Jolly Rancher. Okay. And I, again, love Lemon Jolly Rancher.
Wait, is that what's in the bucket? What's in the bucket?
Okay, hang on.
Okay.
Come on. Let me do my narrative, Alan.
Sure, but you said it's the last thing, and I saw more, but please continue.
So the main reason that I stopped eating Lemon Jolly Ranchers is because they're almost impossible to get now. When I was younger, they used to have those barrels of candy in the supermarket. So what I would do is I would get the bag and I would pick out nothing but Lemon Jolly Ranchers out of it, and I would buy like a pound of Lemon Jolly Ranchers because I don't really like any of the other flavor of Jolly Rancher. So the only way you can get Lemon Jolly Ranchers now are in like a tropical mix variety bag.
Well, they are tropical, sure.
And I've bought it a couple of times, and there was like 2 lemon ones in the whole bag. Like multiple times this happened. So I stopped eating them because I couldn't get them the way that I used to get them. It was more like it was a supply and demand issue. Although if I was still able to get them, they would probably now have to be on the I really shouldn't be eating the sugar pile.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't recall the lemon ones. Watermelon was my go-to for the Jolly Ranchers.
Yeah. So, but there are some things that you just can't give up on.
This is embarrassing.
This is a terrifying list. This is a terrifying list.
Yeah, to see these all together, it's kind of embarrassing. But yeah, I mean, Elio's another after-school staple. And I remember, like, it said, put it in the toaster oven, do not microwave. No way. I'm not waiting the 8 minutes to put this in the toaster, mom, or 10 minutes, whatever it was. I'm going to nuke the hell out of this thing in a minute and a half. It is going to be like such a mess of, like, again, that lava hot cheese on frozen bread that you have to skillfully navigate so you don't kill yourself. But I loved it. It was McCain Elio's way back when, and they sold it. So I don't really know who makes it nowadays. And it went through a period of rediscovery. It got really small and really crappy for a long time. So I even like emailed them at one point to be like, what's going on? And it's clawed its way back where it's not quite what it used to be, but it is still enjoyable. And I have a little more patience as an adult. So sometimes I will put it in the toaster oven or put it in the oven. I will nuke it every now and then just to say, but they did have go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I didn't like this. Like, I didn't really like pizza when I was a kid. I still don't really like pizza all that much. I tend to like I really like Chicago style deep dish pizza, which some people will say isn't pizza, but like I really like that. And I also like
pizza, so I'll give it a pass.
I also like garbage pizza, like Domino's style pizza. But like in New Jersey, people are very proud of like the New Jersey style pizza that a lot of people will say is the best pizza in the world. I don't like it, and it always makes me sick. So Elio's was never anything I was interested in. My younger brother ate it. Again, I think they had a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle promotion crossover.
I think everything on here has had a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle promotion.
Yeah, so I know he ate that when we were younger, but I don't know that I've actually ever had one.
Yeah. Man, could have been another thing to send you, but the cheese, the dairy, it would have.
No, I could do that. I can do one of these. Okay. If we want to do like a really weird invention exchange.
All right, maybe I'll send you some Elios. Yeah, because I still love it. Right. And the rest of these I'll go through quick. Ice cream sandwiches, though, like a lot of the snacks from our youth have gotten smaller.
Yeah.
You know, I still like. I mean, I remember one time I bought a box of ice cream sandwiches while out with friends, not having a place to put them, like with the full-on intent that I'm going to eat a full box of ice cream sandwiches without them melting.
I don't get it. I don't like ice cream sandwiches. Like it's that whatever that brown stuff is on the outside of the ice cream.
That's the sandwich.
I don't like it. It sticks to your fingers.
It does stick to your fingers. Imagine what it does to your colon.
Yeah. I don't like these. I think they're terrible. I can do a chipwich. I do like a nice chipwich.
Chipwich is good, but
this is trash.
Yeah, there was a flavor of ice cream called ice cream sandwich, where they basically just blended up ice cream sandwiches, and I wonder if that's still around because that was just fantastic. Like I would buy that all the time. It was great. Cinnabon recently reappeared in my life. Like I'm
sorry to hear that.
I've probably gone 20 years without having one of these, but I started with there's multiple sizes now. There's like a tiny one. I don't know what that's called. Then there's the mini bon. No, there's the mini bon, and then there's a smaller one.
Oh,
and I think they come in like a sleeve of 5 or something. So I, again, fell off the wagon, got the small one. Then I upgraded to the mini bon. Now I'm just a full-on Cinnabon monster. Even better if I can get a pecan bon. Like just sign me up. I am going to eat that thing in I'm going to pick it up with the fork and just eat it in like 3 or 4 bites because it's so disgusting.
This is the perfect airport food though. Like this is airport food to a T.
Mm. I can't say I've had one in an airport. It's definitely a mall thing for me.
Yeah.
And the reason I wouldn't want to get one of these in the airport is when I fly, I am very careful about what I put in, what I eat. Like I eat, I say like kind of like Fight Club, like clean food only. Like I'm very, very careful because I don't want to have a blowout at 30,000 feet. So on that note, let's bring it home with the Rice Krispie treats. I just ate one of these before we started recording, so no notes.
No notes.
Still top of the heap for me.
Yeah, I don't really like marshmallows, so Rice Krispie treats are okay, but any of that stuff like s'mores, like at the campfire, I don't think we're gonna have time for it, but we talked about like stuff like that we never liked, and I don't like marshmallows.
Yeah, no, I am full on those. And look at this. Okay, what do we got here? I haven't seen your lists, so I want to soak it all in.
Okay, so again, while I'm saying that I can't stop eating these, every single one of these is in extreme moderation these days. Like I can't really. So Doritos, I don't really care about one way or the other, but Doritos and bean dip, I don't watch sports. I don't like football. We watch the Super Bowl every year because most people do. And because that's a day where I eat Doritos and bean dip, and I will knock an entire bag of those stupid things out because it's just, to me, that's what the Super Bowl means. It means you eat Doritos and bean dip. Same thing for WrestleMania, Doritos and bean dip. Same thing for the New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom show, Doritos and bean dip.
I think also Death Row, isn't that like a bean dip and Doritos meal?
But that's pretty much it. I will only eat them for like one of like 3 major sporting events, and that's it. I don't eat them otherwise.
I appreciate how you've got like the oldest picture of a bag of Doritos, right? Like that's classic right there.
Well, that's what they looked like when I started eating Doritos and bean dip. That was something that my dad liked, and like I picked up on that when I was a kid, so I love that. So the ranch combos is the thing that I want you to try. And ranch combos were a thing in the 90s, and I very, very specifically remembered picking them up at the gas station that was right around the corner from my high school girlfriend's house. So I would leave her house, and on the way home, I would stop at this gas station, buy ranch combos, buy some Snapple root beer and some other like just nonsense, like maybe a Hostess apple pie or something like that. And then I would go home and watch Mystery Science Theater 3000, which ran every single night at midnight.
You were living the dream. Yeah.
Oh, those were, some of the dumbest years of my life. Then these vanished for like 30 years. And I randomly came across them like 3 years ago at the deli by me. They brought them back, and they're still back. Again, because of the sodium content, I really have to pick and choose my moments as to when I'm going to have these, but they are delightful.
Yeah, I'm a little intimidated by those because for me, combos is only ever been one flavor. Like the cheese and pretzel, and like that is combos, and like
these are good.
Yeah, I know they have other flavors, but I've never needed more than what those originals offered me.
We're gonna get these for you.
Okay.
So then there's the McRib, which again, by the very nature of the McRib, I can only have it at certain time of the year. I still love the McRib when it was in season this past year. I marked off like I get a couple of meat meals every week. This was one like every single week it was out. I had one a week for each time. I love the McRib. I've loved it since I was in high school when we made it, when I worked at McDonald's during that Flintstones promotion I was talking about earlier. I will never stop eating this. Even if someone said, listen, if you eat this last McRib, you might die tomorrow, I would have to think about
it. you would consider it, but it's not a definite no.
I would have to think about it.
Okay.
Then we have Nerds. And again, Nerds are one of those things that like I can't eat too much anymore. But Nerds have always been my favorite candy, especially back when I was younger, when you could buy like the individual flavors, and they came in like, I've put a picture of them here, the little plastic Nerds. So you could get all lemon Nerds in a little plastic Nerd container.
I have ever seen those containers before. But again, I wasn't big on candy, so I might have missed them. But these are something.
It says Mr. Fun Dip.
Well, is Fun Dip candy? It's just sugar. I don't know. Debatable.
But you know, my childhood bedroom was lousy with these things. You know, it was like
like a junkie with just empty
it was like a nerd's
carcasses
infestation of all of these empty
scattered around. That's
containers.
great.
So I like that. And then the last thing, and this has been something that has existed since I was a kid. It's back every year. It's the thing that makes me think of the holidays. It's the Little Debbie Christmas tree cakes.
No.
I love these stupid things. Again, at the point I'm in now, I buy 2 boxes and that just gets me through the whole season. All good to go. There were times in the past where I would have bought in like 8 boxes of these stupid things and like housed one every night for like 2 months. But I love the Little Debbie Christmas tree cakes. Always have, always will. It also brings us to another question that you had, whether or not I happen to have any snack food merch.
Oh, yes.
As if
I'm not prepared for this.
As if I wouldn't.
Oh, look at that.
I have my Little Debbie Christmas tree cake shirt. And I also have like 20 McRib shirts.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't dig out the only merch I have is a Twinkie the Kid Twinkie carrying case.
Oh, that's pretty good.
In case you needed to carry your Twinkie, you could just insert it in said kid. But
love my Little Debbie Christmas tree cakes.
Yeah. I'll save the other merch for our cereal episode when we get into that, because up and coming. Well, this was awesome. This was wild. This was definitely a wild ride of
it seemed I'm surprised at how many things I showed that you had never seen before. Yeah. I thought for sure you'd be like, oh, I remember that. Man, I haven't thought about that in forever. But it seemed like I ate a lot of bizarre things that you've never even heard of.
But again, gum was a never for me. That was never on my list. What else? I'm trying to think of the other things. The Hostess pies, maybe I had those. I don't remember. But but yeah, and Doritos. Doritos were I never ate Doritos or those. I told you my rule of like at some point in my youth, I said, if it changes the color of my mouth, I'm not going to eat it. So that like ruled out like a lot of like cheese puffs, Cheetos, and Doritos. I feel like fell into that category as well. But man, yeah, you have a lot of good stuff.
I'm much bigger on Fritos these days. My dietitian said, hey, you know what? Saturated fat, not too bad. Sodium, not too bad. Only 3 ingredients. Have your Fritos.
There's Fritos. And see, that was always my go-to. I loved the Fritos over the Doritos. And you and I had talked about when Taco Bell made the Dorito shell. I'm like, the heck with that. Give me a Frito shell. But that would be lethal. I think that big a Frito. And it sucks now because we get like the variety snack pack for the kids sometimes for their lunch, where they have things like Doritos in there. I think there's Cheetos and other things, and they have Fritos in there, but they're barbecue Fritos, and they're awful. There's no regular Fritos. I don't know why they do that. I even saw at Target the other day they have barbecue Frito beef jerky, which just seems like everything in the world.
Who demanded that?
I don't know.
Who focused group that into existence?
Yeah, but again, the same people that made like that green Twinkie, you know, the Twinkie with the
Shrek Twinkie that you showed me. Terrible.
Yeah, Hostess, if you're listening, like Chocodile, it was a win. Or maybe it wasn't. Maybe there was a reason they stopped making it, but
bring back the Chocodile. Give me my Hostess pudding pies. Just do it for just like nostalgia's big, man.
Yeah, just like the Taco Bell did the decades, right?
Let's go. If you bring it back for a limited thing, I guarantee you people will go bonkers for it because they'll be like, oh, it's a limited thing, like limited food things. Like I follow accounts on social media that just talk about that and alert you to when they exist. Like Oreo has like 3 or 4 weirdo flavors every year. Get on the ball, Hostess. Come on.
Yeah. For us to get our 1 or 2, right? Like just because we don't have the tolerance anymore, but
but no, this was fun. I thought this was a good episode. I'm very excited to talk about cereal one of these days. And we had also talked about doing a show where we talk about like old restaurants and old stores that we miss. I've been living deep in a lot of that weird nostalgia lately. So I'm eager to kind of talk through some of those, especially the places thing. I'm very interested to talk about
I think I'm right there with you. Like, again, sitting in that food court, eating my Cinnabon, like it really started to hit me because I started to think about like the bad Chinese, and when I say bad, I say that affectionately, like the bad mall Chinese food that I used to love. and all of those places that are long gone. Like I didn't recognize a lot of the new offerings in the mall, and it just made me start to think of way back when. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I like doing things like this. Again, I think it ties into why we collect things. Yeah, exactly. So, food is tough to collect, though.
Well, then we'll have to do another one of these real soon, and hopefully some folks will come by, say hello. Thanks for hanging out in the chat with us and confirming my story that people used to eat Trident with the wrapper on. And we'll see everybody next week.
All right. Have a good one. See you guys later.
Perfectly excellent.